Hello, good morning. I am Dr. Mohsin from Guntur. Today I am discussing about pathophysiology of UTI. UTI is the inflammatory response of urothelium to bacterial invasion that is usually associated with bacteriuria and pyuria. Bacteriuria is the presence of bacteria in the urine. Pyuria is the presence of white blood cells in urine. Bacteriuria without pyuria is generally indicative of bacterial colonization without UTI. Inflammation of the bladder is called cystitis. Usually cystitis associated with urethritis or vaginitis. Inflammation of the kidney is pyelonephritis. In case of chronic pyelonephritis, there might not have any active focus of infection. UTI of two kinds, uncomplicated and complicated. In uncomplicated UTI, we see infection in healthy individuals, anatomical and functionally normal urinary tract, absence of urinary tract obstruction. It is seen in women and can be treated by oral antibiotics. Complicated UTI is seen in due to functional or anatomical abnormality of urinary tract. It is seen in male gender, in pregnancy, in childhood UTI, elderly patients, diabetics, immunosuppressed individuals, recent antibiotic use, indwelling urinary catheters, urinary tract instrumentation, and hospital-acquired infections. UTIs occur as a result of interaction between uropathogen and host. Virulence factors of the bacteria, inoculum size, or inadequacy of the host defense mechanism. Ascending route of infection is the most common, that is 95% of infection through this route, that I will discuss in my next slide. Hematogenous route is seen in Staphylococcus aureus bacteremia, where a primary site is our oral cavity, and Candida fungemia. These are uncommon. There is another route called lymphatic route, where there is a direct extension of bacteria from adjacent organs via lymphatics. This is also a rare entity seen in severe bowel infections and retroperitoneal abscesses. Here in this slide, I'm going to explain about the pathogenesis of ascending infection, uropathogenic bacteria, which are part of bowel flora or vaginal flora. These contaminate periurethral area first. From periurethral area, they ascend into urethra. First, these bacteria colonize in urethra. From then, they migrate into bladder. Once they enter into bladder, these bacteria colonizes. Meanwhile, there is a acute neutrophilic infiltration. These bacteria colonize to form biofilm. During biofilm, they release several toxins. These toxins, they induce host cell damage. And these cell damage release nutrients that promote these bacterial survival and the accession of the bacteria into kidney. One more thing, these toxins also cause a loss of peristalsis or impairs peristalsis in the ureters and bladder that causes stasis of the urine that helps in accession of the bacteria into kidney. Once this bacteria reaches the kidney, these bacteria colonizes in the kidney. From then they enters into circulation that leads to a bacteremia. Usually, urinary tract is sterile, and there are many defense mechanisms that inhibits bacterial colonization. There are some defense mechanisms in the lower tract, like complete emptying of the bladder during urination, that inhibits urinary stasis, that prevents bacterial growth. Acidic urine directly kills the bacteria. A vesicoureteral mechanism that prevents reflex of infected urine into kidney, and immunologic and mucosal barriers that prevents adhesion of the bacteria to the epithelial cells. The urea and organic acids in the urine inhibits growth of bacteria in the urine. If these defense mechanism fails, the bacteria reaches up to upper tracts and involves kidneys. Once these bacteria enters the kidneys, there is another defense mechanism. Local leukocyte phagocytosis will take place, or renal antibodies along with complexes fight with these bacteria to prevent infection. Bacterial adherence and bacterial growth and resistance of host defenses, these traits facilitate colonization and infection of the urinary tract. Adhesins are bacterial surface structures that enables attachment to the host membrane. As we know, most of the UTI are caused by facultative anaerobes, which originates from our bowel flora, Staphylococcus epidermidis, Candida albicans, which are seen in the vaginal or perineal skin. E. coli is the most common cause of UTI. 85% of community acquired and 50% of hospital acquired infections. These gram-negative Enterobacteriaceae and gram-positive cocci is responsible for community acquired infections. And these are all the bacteria we know which are responsible for nosocomial infections. Gardnerella vaginalis, Mycoplasma species, Ureaplasma ureolyticum, these organisms seen in people with indwelling catheters or who practice intermittent catheterization. Ureaplasma ureolyticum, Mycoplasma hominis is usually seen in some symptomatic women with negative urinary cultures. Now coming to E. coli virulence, pili, which are also called fimbriae, are essential in virulence in E. coli. There are two kinds of pili. Type 1 are mannose-sensitive pili, which are responsible for cystitis, and P. pili, which are mannose-resistant pili. These are responsible more of pyelonephritis than cystitis because these cells, these are most affinity to having in the kidney. And other virulence factors like outer membrane proteins, capsular polysaccharides, hemolysins, cytotoxic necrotizing factor protein, aerobactins, and other serogroups of E. coli. Swarming is a unique feature of Proteus mirabilis. Swarming involves expression of specific genes when these bacteria are exposed to surface such as catheters that results in a coordinated movement of large numbers of bacteria. And this is seen in UTI with the instrumentation of the urinary tract. Coming to host resistance, a shorter length of female urethra allow uropathogens easier access into the bladder. Lactobacilli, which are predominant vaginal flora, that inhibits vaginal colonization of uropathogens, and most of the antibiotics disturbs this flora that leads to UTI. A continuous unidirectional flow of urine helps in minimizing UTI. Secretory immunoglobulins like IgA reduces attachment and invasion of the bacteria in urinary tract. Women who are non-secretors of ABH blood antigens appear to be at higher risk of getting recurrent UTIs. Coming to alterations in host defense mechanisms, obstruction in any part of the urinary tract, either it is anatomical or functional obstruction, like benign prostatic enlargement, in urethral stenosis in case of postmenopausal women, urethral diverticula, bladder diverticula, or in case of neurogenic bladders where there is a stasis of urine that leads to growth of bacteria. This increases the adherence of E. coli, pathogens to the urothelial cells. That leads to fear of UTI. VUR is another entity. There is association between VUR, UTI, and renal clubbing and scarring. In children, high-grade reflux and UTIs leads to progressive renal damage and renal failure. In case of low degree of reflux, they may improve, completely recover. The renal function may recover if we treat UTI. In case of adults, reflux VUR alone doesn't cause decrease in renal function. Diabetes mellitus increases incidence of asymptomatic bacteriuria and symptomatic UTIs. It is more seen in women. Incomplete bladder emptying, poor glucose control, impaired immune response, antibiotic resistance. These are all factors play in the case of UTI in case of diabetes mellitus. E. coli that inhabits in the periurethral vaginal introitus that ascends into bladder via urethra. In case of recurrent E. coli UTI infections, there is a high colonization of periurethral area. So in young women, sexual intercourse may promote migration that leads to cystitis. In case of elderly women, fecal soiling or reduced estrogen levels that leads to UTI. In conclusion, most UTI are caused by bacteria, usually originating from bowel and skin flora. Bacterial virulence factors including adhesin plays a role in determining which bacteria invade and the extent of the infection. Increased epithelial cell receptivity predisposes patients to recurrent urinary tract infections. Obstruction to urinary flow is a key factor in increasing host susceptibility to UTI. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Have a nice day.